Oh, yeah. Well, your body, your very body is a security on the New York Stock Exchange. Did you know that? Each one of you is worth over $6.5 million on the New York Stock Exchange right now. Let me show you something. You got a $1 bill? Give me a $1 bill. I want to show you something. Thank you. On the Social Security card, back in 1868, after the Civil War, a group of men got together and formed a corporation. Well, anybody can form a corporation, anybody. So this group of guys got together and they formed a corporation in Delaware. It's a Delaware corporation. And they called the corporation the United States Corporation. And it was stipulated that anybody who would work for that corporation would be referred to as a citizen. So it's a United States corporation. And if you work for that corporation, you're a citizen. And so there today, when you walk in a bank or anywhere and they ask you, are you a U.S. citizen? You say yes. What you think they're asking you, are you lawfully in America to do business? They didn't ask you if you were lawfully in America. Like an attorney, listen to what they ask you. Because you're in court, be careful what you say before the judge when he says, are you a U.S. citizen? Because if you say yes, what you have said is that, yes, I am voluntarily, of my own volition, admitting that I am an employee of a foreign corporation called United States, which was incorporated as a Roman trust back in 1868, so that the United States is a privately owned company, like Ford Motor Company, General Motors. They're huge, they're big. Well, so is the U.S. government, but it's a privately owned corporation. And therefore, all corporations have to have a president. So they got a president. And corporate law says you have to have a vice president. So they got a vice president. And you also have to have a secretary-treasurer. That's corporate law. So they got a secretary-treasurer. It's a privately owned company, for God's sakes. It's like General Motors, Ford Motor Company, Sears, and the U.S. government. It's all corporate. It's a business. And consequently, your body is a security on the New York Stock Exchange because you're the security for what is referred to as the body social. That's why when you retire, you get Social Security, because you are the security for the corporation. As long as you're doing your job and making money and paying them every year, you're good security. You know, you got money coming in. And so that's why you have to have a seat belt and the car, and you have to have insurance and a seat belt. Why? Because they love you and want to protect you? No, no, no. They own you. They own your body on the security on the New York Stock Exchange. So then, and so if you get in a wreck, now they got to pay you, for God's sakes. Now they got to take care of you. No, no, they want you to pay them, airhead, not them pay you. So they want you to protect yourself, and if you're going to be stupid and get in an accident, have insurance so the federal government will be paid for your stupidity of getting yourself in a wreck. So they get the insurance. So that's why you have to take care of yourself. I mean, once you understand how this works, well, anyway, this is a corporation. It's called the United States Corporation. It's privately owned. So if you think for 1 minute, I'm going to go to Vietnam and fight for Ford Motor Company, you got another thing coming. No. For my country is a republic. Now, that's different. But there's a world of difference between United States of America and United States. United States is a privately owned company. It's a corporation. The republic is different. It's a whole different world. So you need to understand how those different words are used. There's a world of difference between a trial by jury and a jury trial. Doesn't mean the same thing. There's a world of difference between California State and the state of California. Doesn't mean the same thing at all. So there's a world of difference between a lawyer and an attorney. Doesn't mean the same thing at all. You need to understand words. Study the world of occult terms and knowledge that attorneys and lawyers know that you don't know. Again, this is a corporation. It was founded in 1868 called the United States Corporation, privately owned. And if you're a member of that corporation, like any corporation, you're naturally going to have an ID card. So if you're walking around the plant, they will be able to tell you to actually work for Ford, and here's your code numbers. And so this is your certificate number in the corporation. But on the back, you will see a set of numbers on the back. On mine, it's red. And normally, they're in red. Sometimes they're in black. Normally, the numbers on the back are in red. Why? It doesn't matter what color it is, it's what it represents. It's in red because it represents your blood. These numbers are your body on the New York Stock Exchange. So when you have a dollar bill, an American money, you will see there's a code numbers on the bill. See the code numbers on the bill? When you put your numbers on the back of your Social Security card with the numbers on the bill, they're identical. So that your body is worth $6.5 million on the stock exchange, and it is the security for America's money. Your body is a security for the body social. That's why when you retire, you get Social Security. No, you are the security for the body of the corporation. And they're using your body on the New York Stock Exchange, and that's why this government has never cared about all the illegals coming in from Mexico and Canada. They don't care about that at all. Why? Because the more the merrier. The more people that they get Social Security numbers on, that's $6.5 million more they just got. And so if they get 150,000 a day times 6.5 million, every day the government's making money off of people coming in. They couldn't care less where you come in. They want documented workers so they can document you to get the credit through the international banking cartels out of London to pay them for you, because your body is a security on the New York Stock Exchange. So that's why there's never going to be any, there will never be any stopping of the illegal, because look at, if the corporation called United States is a company, it's a corporation, and if you are doing something and making money, then, and you are not paying them, they can put a lien on you. It's called a mechanic's lien. You know, if you have a painter and he paints your house and you don't pay him, you can put a mechanic's lien. Meaning, he goes to the bank and says, I'm putting a lien on this house because they owe me $6,000 and they won't pay me, which means you cannot do anything with that property until you pay him first. So if you want to sell the property first, but the first $6,000 goes to this man because he has a lien on you, because he did something for you and you didn't pay him. So therefore, if you are working in California, but you're not a U.S. citizen, you're not in the corporation, you become known as an alien, because they have now put a lien on you. You are now an alien. No, you're not an alien. They have put a lien on you. Words. It's magical, the way words are used. You go to court. Why do you go to court? You play tennis on a court. You play basketball on the court. How do you play tennis on a court? You play with a racket. Come on. So, no, serious. You think that these lawyers dream up this stuff by chance? No, 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 no. These guys are smart. They're playing a game, and you just don't know the game they're playing. So you go into a court. The whole idea of a court is like I said, basketball court is a game. This team stands up and throws the ball back in the other guy's court. And that team of lawyers throws the ball back in this guy's court. And the judges comes out, he's a referee because he's wearing a black robe. Black robes represent the planet Saturn, the lord of money and banking and law. Saturn was the god of banking and law. And his priest of Saturn always wore black robes. That's why the Catholic Church wears a black robe. That's why the rabbis wear black robes. When you graduate from high school, you wear a black robe. The whole idea of the Saturnian is called Saturn. The god Saturn was Lord of the Rings. So women were told to listen to their god, so they would wear an earring, because Saturn is the Lord of the ring. And men were to get married before their god, so they wear a wedding ring. You need to understand there is a world of occultism, manipulation, exploitation of the human race with words and terms and symbols that you don't even know is happening right in front of you. So you've got a court. The whole idea in a court is a game to put the ball back in the other guy's court. And the judge is going to rule from the bench. The word bench is a Latin word for a bank. So he's ruling for the bank. Why? Because somebody's going to have to pay their debt to society. Somebody's going to pay. When the day is over, somebody's going to lose and they're going to pay. And the judge doesn't care because he's getting paid anyway, so he doesn't care. He's a referee. That's why he wears a black robe. And when the judge walks out, everyone rises.